This May release of Home Assistant has brought in a big bang load of updates, and we are going to look at them in this video. In the last release, Home Assistant had provided support for infrared proxy to communicate with infrared devices via Home Assistant, and in this release, Home Assistant is providing the ability to control devices that use radio frequencies. That is, we can create radio frequency proxies and integrate it in Home Assistant so that other Home Assistant integrations can use that proxy to talk to your devices. Currently, there are two types of proxies that you can make use of. That is by creating your own DIY radio frequency proxy using ESP Home or by using Broadlink RM4 Pro as your proxy device. Now currently there are two integrations that can make use of this proxy, that is Honeywell String Lights and Nova Cooker Hood. Now, not only radio frequency devices, we also have the ability to control devices that have serial ports via the serial port proxy. Yes, that's right. You can create a serial port proxy using ESP Home and have it plugged into the serial port of any device and have the data being streamed over the network so that Home Assistant can communicate with it. You can get the data from the devices like your energy meter via serial port and feed it into Home Assistant. So now with this, Home Assistant can use Bluetooth proxies to control Bluetooth devices. Then we have the infrared proxies with which you can control infrared devices. And now we have radio frequency and serial port proxies which cover another set of devices that Home Assistant can talk to. This is pretty cool, but this would be effective if there are integrations that can take advantage of these proxies to communicate with the devices. Also, ESP Home provides a capability for the serial port communication, but you still have to do it by yourself based on the device that you want to communicate to. Now, let's look at some of the updates to the built-in Home dashboard. Firstly, in the Home dashboard, we now have this new maintenance dashboard that groups all your battery entities based on your area. Now, this will help you to have a glance of all your battery powered devices and have a look at their battery levels so you are aware of any battery levels that are low. Next, your security dashboard now has this activity log on the side that shows you the activity of your security related devices like door sensors, camera, alarm sensors, window sensors, etc. Now, apart from the updates to the built-in dashboards, we now also have some new exciting dashboard cards. Firstly, we now have this shortcut card whose tap behavior can navigate you to a page, open a custom URL, invoke assist, perform an action, or just do nothing. Like here, for example, I'm selecting Music Assistant dashboard, and on saving the card and on clicking it, it navigates me directly to the Music Assistant dashboard. I think this is really cool when you have like a wall mounted dashboard and you can just navigate to other places just using this card. Now, you can also invoke custom URLs and even perform an action with this shortcut card. Then for the tile cards, when you select a media player, you can now customize its features such as add media player controls, volume buttons, and slider. You can further customize the playback controls to add controls you want and also rearrange them as you wish. Then for the weather forecast entities, in the tile card, you can add features showing you the hourly forecast and also the daily forecast to the card. Apart from this, Home Assistant has made some subtle UI changes, like the toggles on the UI now have got this model pill-shaped look. Now with the ongoing improvement towards automations to make it more natural, we have some new features in triggers and conditions. Now we have triggers based on time such that you can trigger an automation like when the light is on for 5 minutes. For such cases, we have this for at least option that you can set to trigger the automation. Now on the condition side, we have something similar here where the switch is turned on for at least 10 minutes. I think this is pretty handy for cases such as to trigger an automation when there is no motion for 2 minutes, then turn off the light, or front door is open for 2 minutes, then close the door. So such cases can be covered more easily with this. Then for media players, we have new triggers, that is paused, playing, started playing, turns on and turns off. Then for timers, we have new triggers like cancelled, finished, pause, restarted and started. And finally, we have a doorbell rang trigger for doorbell event entities. Then for vacuum cleaners and for lawn mowers, the more info dialog box have got a refreshed look. For vacuum cleaners, we have the state-driven animation when it is cleaning, sits quietly, glides when it's returning to the dock, and shakes when something is wrong. Another big feature is this clean area view that supports cleaning specific areas. Now, this is available for most modern vacuum cleaners that support cleaning by area, and you can just select the area and start cleaning it. Now, if you have not set up the area mapping between Home Assistant areas and the vacuum cleaner, then the dialog box takes you through setting up the mappings. Next, if you have been using templates to do some custom tweaking, then Home Assistant devs have reworked the templating documentation to make it more easier to navigate and read it and to get more of your attention towards it. They have introduced 14 new learning pages, 2 full tutorials to build something real, dedicated error messages pages, and much more. Another notable update is that autocomplete feature for code editors are now context aware for both YAML and Jinja templates. The editor knows the ID you're referring to and offers functions accordingly, like for entity ID, we have states, isState, etc. Then device IDs, device name and device attributes, and similarly for other IDs. Now all these updates are based on the beta release notes and there may be changes in the final release. So if you like to see such quick updates about Home Assistant releases, then make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that like button for more such videos to come. Now if you want, you can support this channel via Patreon, or you could just buy me a coffee. Till then, take care and I will see you in my next one.